From every strand on the line of your reel, to the rods, to the anglers, to the lures on the end of your hook, let's talk about those big bass here on Co-Angler's Corner with your hosts, Rob Welch and John Stoudinger.
Good evening, everybody. I'm John.
How y'all are? Cajun Rob here hanging out with you on a New Year's Eve.
Yes. Tonight is our last show of the year. And we just want to do a quick rundown of 2024, or a recap of 24, and a preview of what we have coming for 25. Some things stayed the same, some things changed. We're not getting rid of anything, but we're adding stuff. So even though you don't pay for this, you're getting more for your buck.
Yep. It's a great guest already scheduled. We already got, the first 2 months already scheduled? Man, we got some great things.
I mean, I think we have 1 day left in February to fill up, and I think we're all set.
Wow.
But we do have January all filled.
Yep. I guess great good things coming up for sure. And
yeah.
And first off, too, guys, we appreciate you. We've a little over a year. We've done this a little over a year, and man, we appreciate all you guys tuning in, likes, and shout out to some of our guest hosts, our good buddy Barkin Rugers, aka Day Trading, and Mr. May. So appreciate you guys kind of filling in and being there, and really appreciate you guys.
Yes, and thanks to everybody who took the time out of their day to watch our show. It means a lot to us. We do it because we enjoy it. We like talking fishing, like meeting people. So what better way to do it?
Exactly. And I said, starting out and making it over a year, it's just kept growing and growing thanks to you guys. So it's been amazing. I said, we appreciate y'all.
Yes. So how do we want to do this? Do we want to just go over a couple things from 2024? I mean, I've got all the, pretty much a lot of the information.
Sure. Yeah, let's roll with it.
All right. So our first week show, we had, our first guest was David Archibald, co-angler. He's been on our show a couple times. Great guy, professional paintballer.
Yep.
Don't know what else to say about Dave. He's fishes the Toyota series. I think the Northerns, the Southerns, and fishes BFLs and wherever he can.
Yeah, he's an absolute baller and a hammer. That guy's really good. Hats off to him.
Yes. I want to also give a shout out to the Lady Bass Anglers Association. Without them, we might not have had an all women's show.
Yep.
Because Travis and Steve contacted us and wanted to know if we'd be interested in doing an all ladies show to help promote the LBAA. And Rob and I and Travis, we spoke and thought it was a great idea. And so we did it. Had, I think, 48 shows with women.
Yep.
I think it's the only podcast around that does just have women on it. Or it was at the end of last year. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And every show's been great. I mean, the ladies are appreciative, great anglers in their own right, and you see why they're successful. But we enjoyed all the shows with them and had a lot of fun, and I think they did too. They appreciate it, so we appreciate them.
Oh yes. Yeah, if you guys don't mind, go over to our YouTube channel at Co-Angler's Corner, hit the like and hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell for updates.
Definitely.
If you've watched the show before, send us a comment on what your favorite show was, your favorite guest, where you're from. We like to know all that kind of stuff because that helps us find out where our viewership is and where we can get guests. We should pull guests from, or what type of guest.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have guys from California, Florida. I mean, pretty much all over. So
yep,
they all been great. They all been really good, really good.
Yes, we're trying to get guests that are all over the country. Rob's, well, he's he's in the Central Eastern, I call it that.
Southeastern.
Oh, they call that South?
Yep. Well,
Okay.
kind of all where I'm from, where I fish. So I'm all over the place.
Yeah, I'm in Northeastern. So we like to talk to different people from across the country. So, different techniques.
Yep. And talk about our brothers and sisters from California out that way. It's really, bass fishing has really picked up out there. So we appreciate you guys out west, and we don't leave you out, but you guys are killing it out there in California and out in the west. So y'all keep doing what you're doing.
And we appreciate you guys coming on and watching us and taking the time out of your day as well to be on the show. So let's see, where else? Then we had a couple, 2 co-anglers in a row. We had Michael Bell and Mike Mueller.
Yep.
Michael Bell spoke about, he was 2-time New York State Angler of the Year, co-angler, and then Mike Mueller was talking about spy-bait fishing, which that's still, I can't believe how that works. But
yeah, that's the art and the science to it, and he's good at it.
Yes, he is. But we're not going to go through every show that we've had, or else we'd be here probably for a couple hours.
Past our bedtimes.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm at the point where I don't need to see the ball drop.
No.
If
you've seen it about 20 times, it's okay.
So. Well, I don't know if I've seen it 20 times because a lot of the times I was passed out drunk. So.
Yep. It happens.
Oh, yeah. It was all good fun, I think. I survived it. Yeah. But no, we went on. We had some kayakers. Some of the more popular names in kayak fishing. Christine Fisher. Lance Burke.
Yep.
They're 2 of the more common names that you'd hear.
The Muses.
Kayaking.
Yep, Muses.
What's that?
Was that Muses?
Yeah, Justin. Yep.
They was great. I mean, yes. They bring plenty of energy and passion for the sport, for sure.
Yes. And she's one that can talk. And it was funny because in our interview with him, Dustin said you thought you were just going to get away with an hour. Not with her here.
Hey, at least man's honest. So, yes. They're good people. As we say down in Louisiana, that they are good people.
Yep. They can actually speak like that in Louisiana?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, okay. And let's see, what else did we do this year?
Yep. Well, I went down to Guntersville and actually attended the LBA event with my youngest son. And
yep.
I'll tell you, hats off to Steve and Travis and the gang. Travis' wife, they put on a good show. It was last day, and said I really enjoyed it. Ladies was unreal. I said I think every lady stayed to the very end of the weigh-in, whoever it is, kind of in it or not. So that was really impressive. That was good times. I enjoyed it, and said hats off to the Travis and the Steve and the gang. They do a good show. Great weigh-in, great show. So hats off to them. But I enjoyed it.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah. They took that over just for a passion.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't anything to make themselves rich. So yeah, it's truly a passion for them. And we saw it through our shows that the women have more passion, it seems like, than the men do when they talk about it.
Yeah, and like no drama, everybody gets along. I mean, everybody's best friends. Of course, they have a little competitive during the tournament, but they do a good job. But
hey, Todd Phelps, how you doing, buddy? If you get a chance to let us know where you're from, go ahead. Just type in. You don't have to say the city, just what state you're at or state you're in. I'm not talking about alcohol state either, but
if my memory serves me right, I think he's from Texas. Is that right, so, Todd? I think I remember that, but so my mind ain't as good as it used to be.
Mine either. But no, we've had quite a few guests on that have become friends.
Nope, I was wrong. Hey, sorry, Todd. My mind ain't as sharp as it used to be. I've talked to
Southern
many
Illinois.
people. That's right, Southern Illinois. I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, it's pretty area. I just went through there a few weeks ago on some work travel. So yeah, that's a great area.
Yeah. Let's see, Matty Wong. He came on and talked about how he got to be in the Elite Series.
Great story.
Yes, it is. I don't even know if we finished it. Josh Nelson, he was on a couple times.
Yep.
Bridget Allen, Julia Darbone. Can't forget Al Paliani
Oh
with the
yeah,
American Angler Outdoor Network.
gotta love Al, man. He's quite a gentleman. Great guy, smart, sharp as a knife.
Yes, and Luke Schrader was
Yep.
on.
And talk, side pot fishing, and he's actually jumped in and he's in the Elite Series. So he's got the side pot available for the Elite guys. So I think that's pretty great move for him. And I think that kind of maybe solved some issues for the Elite guys on the payout. So I think that was awesome. He stepped up, and I said, I've got lucky and I've gotten 3 or 4 of them. And I said, he mails a check, and usually I have it on Wednesday. If I place good enough to get one, usually by Wednesday, it's in my mailbox. So hats off, man. Luke does a great job with side pot.
Yep. We also had she'll be a high school angler now. Carly Prevet, I think she just hit high school.
Yep.
Young angler. She was the LBAA co-angler rookie of the year.
And it's funny, I think we had her on 2 or 3 times, and
yes,
she gets more comfortable or better, but she's doing really well. And we're happy and looking forward to seeing her fish this year in LBAA, and I know she's going to do well.
Yes. Jason Kelly was on. He had a great year last year.
Yep.
Hunter Bogman.
Yep.
If you don't know about Hunter, he used to fish the NPFL. He decided not to fish it because he wanted to be a family man, stay home with his family.
Yep, and won a Toyota. Was it a couple years back? He won a Toyota, which
and I think he won an NPFL event a couple years back too.
Yeah, I think so. I know he won a Toyota. He may have. Yep, but I know that Toyota is hard to win, so hats off to him.
Yes, John Sukup we had on.
Yep.
And
the marriage cat. Yep. Oh, Sokup, he's like the marriage counselor to the pros. He's like Dr. Phil to the pros, I think. But
yeah,
he kills it on social media, man. Some of his posts are hilarious. So,
yeah. Stephen Draghi, Kevin McGivney, both in the New York area. Kevin, he has K&K Customs, aftermarket boat accessories. Did a good breakdown on forward-facing sonar for us. Nick Dame, Nick, he came on a couple times. He spoke about different techniques, and they're one of the highlights of our shows, or our highest ranking shows are the technique shows.
Yeah, he really does a good job breaking stuff down, and really, you tell he's got a passion for the sport, and man, he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, and if there's anyone you want us to try to get on here, let us know. You could send us a message or send us an email, whatever. Type it in our what do you call that? Our feed.
Yep.
Let us know. And Todd says he lives near Lake of Egypt, Rend Lake, Crab Orchard, Kincaid Lake, and Cedar Lake. They fishes the most.
Yep, I've heard of Rend Lake and Cedar Lake.
I don't live by any of them.
I think I've passed by him maybe, but and speaking of the devil, his ears must have been burning.
Yep, Jeremy May, what's up, guy? What's up, buddy?
What's up, Mr. May?
Yep. He'll be our guest tomorrow night, and we're going to be. We'll cover that later on. We had Roy Widgeon with the Kayak Angler magazine. Yeah,
he's doing a lot of good things, and I think he just started like a kayak chat group, and
yep,
he's sharp on the kayak stuff, man. I love to hear him talk share stuff about the kayaking for sure.
Then we had Jeremy May talking about crankbaits. Destin DeMarion came on and talked about smallmouth fishing. Trisha McGraw, Rusty Odom, and Michael Catt came on. They 3 great guests right there.
Absolutely.
Michael won a Toyota. Rusty Odom talked extensively about different techniques, and Trisha, she's just one heck of a woman.
Oh yeah.
Nick, we had Linda Gessner, Miss Frog.
Yeah, I learned a lot from that lady about frogging. I mean, how she's got everything broke down and she's got her own system. Yeah, I learned a lot from Linda. And thanks, Linda, for sharing. That was really, really good.
Cody Stahl, Jen Nolan, Deanna Marino out west.
Yep.
Pam Horn, Casey Gonzalez, co-angler, won the Toyota Series event. Luke Schrader.
He won Douglas as a co-angler on BFLs, I know.
Yes.
And won.
I couldn't remember that.
Yep. And then he won, I think, the regional, I think at Del Hollow too. So he's done really well. Besides owning and running Side Pod, he's done really well.
Yes. And then we had the Anglers of the Year for the Northeastern Toyota Series, Kyle Cordiana and Mike Mueller. Congratulations to them.
Yep.
Our first California angler is Mark Pilgrim we had on.
Great guy, great guest.
Yes, Jeremy May broke down jerkbait fishing.
Yeah, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot from him on that podcast and tried some of the baits he recommended and really impressed with them.
And then Rhonda Pitts came on and talked about her USA Bass Team experience. Bracy Alt, and can't forget about Gary Haraguchi.
Yeah, Gary is man, he's probably one of the best and most positive guys you ever want to meet. But great co-angler, and yeah, he's cashed a lot of checks.
Yeah. Anastasia Patterson, another woman in the Bassmast Her. Okay. Olivia Barafio, you know, she when I spoke to her, she's like, I'm not a big name person, and you know, we don't care as long as you have the passion for fishing. That's all that matters for us.
Yeah, she did. It was she did really good.
Then we have Mr. Bass out west is Ken Ma.
Yep.
Had Al come in and talking about spinner baits. We had Julie Levitt in on last night for a few minutes. Kathy Schott was on the 23rd. And one of the highlighted shows that we had this year, a special show, was about taxes and fishermen. What fishermen should do to try to get their self in a good position for taxes. What they can claim, what they can't claim, what business should they have? Should they have an LLC? Should they be a DBA? Should they, you know, but the main thing is you go in it and try to make money.
Yep. That was one of the best educational, I think, shows we had all year. And I think we're going to try to have them on again in 2025. And they had a great time. We had a great time with them and very, very informative. So if you got any questions on that, hey, save them up. They'll be on very soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, because I think at the end of the year, I think tonight's going to be the last night that tax seminar is going to be on.
Yep.
We were talking about Christmas time, but we just let it. I forgot and I let it run. And it was funny because Dave Archibald said it was one of the best ones that we've had.
It was really informative. I mean, it opened my eyes on much stuff I didn't realize, and so yeah, it was really, really good.
Now, a lot of the stuff I knew, but only because being self-employed, you know that stuff, some of that stuff. But there were some things some tidbits I took out, which I'll keep with me. So, and don't worry, guys. I'm not pulling it off forever. We're just pulling it off. We're going to be starting a we're building a library for our membership club. So, and we'll talk more about that in the coming year. We're not quite ready for it. We want to get a library built up before we have a membership with nothing in it to offer.
Yep, and a good way to look up stuff and have it categorized. So, we're going to make it as user friendly as we can. So, definitely in the works.
Yes, and let's see. Oh, can't forget Bill McDonald was on.
Yep.
All right, so that's
one of the true gentlemen of the sport. And
yes, I fished my first BASS Open. I was a co-angler, and it was Douglas Lake in 2015. My day one boater, we went up in the river or up in the creek up there.
Yep.
And my boater broke three Loomis flipping sticks in about 5 minutes.
Jeez.
And I had all I could do to control myself from laughter. And
you had to bite your tongue?
Oh, yeah. And the next morning, I got paired with a guy from Kentucky, and I can't remember his name, but we went over and we sat next to Bill, and we're parked next to Bill, and Bill says, "You guys mind if I lead us in a prayer?" No, we didn't mind, and he led us in a prayer, and away we went.
Great guy. Might have been Terry Bolton. I'm trying to think of all the big time pros in Kentucky, but he's one of them. But talking about Bill, it's funny. My Bill experience is I was at the FLW in 2018, like one of the last year they had co-anglers, and we always heard rumors. So they went to Cumberland, which is closest big lake to me. So I fished it, and was it my day two boater? He broke down, and he called Bill. Bill come by and got me, and had 2 bags of fish, and weighed in my boater's fish because his motor blew up. But yeah, I mean, Bill didn't hesitate. He said, "Hey, whatever I can do to help somebody out." So that's just the kind of guy he is. So hats off to him.
Yeah. And one thing that I have to get better at is asking you people to like and comment and stuff like that. That's one of the things that I got to do during our shows and stuff. Todd says, keep trying to figure out where I've seen Cajun Rob. Maybe it's a bass resource.
No, it wasn't bass resource, but I've been around, and I work in the fishing industry. I'm a salesperson, so you may send me in a tackle shop or something sometimes. But I've been around. I'm an old guy, so I've been around a little bit. But I'm not big time, man. I'm just out here like John, having fun, meeting people, and I got a lot of friends in the industry. But yeah, I've been around, man.
And so yeah, that's pretty much what 2024 went. I missed a lot of shows due to medical reasons, and glad my buddy there, Rob, he was there having my 6, and appreciate that. Can't say enough about that.
Hey man, no problem, man. I got you 6 no matter what, brother. I got you.
All right. Yeah, that was an awful big help. We couldn't have done all the shows without one or both of us. So.
Yep. Hey, it's a team. We're a team, man. No matter what, hey, we're a team. So ain't no problem.
And you guys would think Rob and I grew up together the way we talk, but we've never met.
No, not in person. Well, we've been friends on Facebook, and I think I was on John's podcast when he kind of first started out, and man, we just most things just hit it off. So
yeah.
And what's funny is we're from like 2 different areas. He's way up north. I was born and raised way down south, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So you got anything else to add for 24?
No, I think we've covered all. I said we appreciate, we've had a bunch of friends, and Rock Holiday, enjoyed having Rock on. He just had knee surgery, and me and him's we've traveled together, and he's doing really well. He's ahead of schedule, so I think he's really going to bust out and do real well, and maybe he can bust out a win this year. I'll go ahead and predict that.
As long as it's not the St. Lawrence.
Yeah, nah. He's already talked some smack on you, so he's feeling
That's
good.
All right.
But I'm glad he's doing better.
There's some baits that I'm gonna send him, but I'm not gonna send him the ones that I use up there.
I sent him a few, so but yeah, and send him some read material and a couple other things. So I know it. go in rehab, and you can't get out of the house hardly, and you're just going to the doctor. It's pretty rough. So I hope I'm
Yeah.
kind of helped him out and got his mind off of it. So try to help somebody out where I can. So that's all good. But yeah, 2024 went pretty good for me. I cashed a couple checks and I got side pot and big bass at Norris, I think in February and March last year, and BFLs at Norris Lake. So that's pretty good. Got the big fish and the side pot on one fish. It's pretty good size smallmouth. So I get lucky every once in a while. But and I made the regional, but they kept switching around my work schedule. It didn't work out, and wasn't able to go, but still it was a accomplishment just to make it because there was a bunch of hammers in that division. So, but I've made like the last two straight qualified for regional, so it's pretty cool.
I didn't have a great year. I don't even know if I cashed a check. Yeah, I did. I cashed a check at the Potomac, I think.
Oh yeah.
But no, it was fun. Brutal because I would drive down the day before the tournament and come back after the tournament.
Oh, you did it, man. That's a long drive. Then fish and then drive back. Whew.
And the funny thing is the Lake Champlain out of Plattsburgh. It's about 5 hours from my house. 4.5 hours from my house. Potomac is only another hour and a half. But so let's go. Let's talk about some of the tips that we talked about this year. I know you wanting to talk about some tips.
Yeah, and I'm like everybody else. I mean, this year was kind of tough. I mean, I changed jobs and got a job I love, but money has been tight last few years. But I figured out a couple of kind of low buck tips, I guess you say. But one is actually here. I took an old 3600 box I've had forever and decided to make a day box out of it. And it's not hard. Just it's like the oldest box I got, but if you see it, I drilled a bunch of holes in the bottom here. I think like an 1/8 ounce drill bit, put about 6 holes in about every section. And then during the day, it's empty when I start out. And then as I go in the day, plugs or plastics, I'll just keep them in there. And all the holes, let the water drain out so you don't rust your hooks or anything. So worked pretty good. And
nice.
And then kind of second one, my favorite cold tags, of course, MGM. You may know MGM owner, but I got one of the lure locks, and it's got the sticky material on the bottom, and man, it does real good. I mean, it holds them in there. So that's what I always put in my co-angler, my day bag. But keeps them dry, keeps them protected, keeps them all together. You don't have to worry about something snagging. I mean, I used to have them on the side of my bag. Sometimes they'd catch or snag. So try to protect them much as we can. So and then one last quick tip, and I'm not sponsored by these guys, but I do love their A-rigs. Diamond A-rigs, really good. And what I like about this one, it's a finesse one, but it's a 3-arm, so you don't have no dummies. So, but I like it because you don't have no dummies. You just got the 3, and it works real well. It's good, a little finesse. You can throw it on a medium heavy rod. And one trick I learned, I think Sonar had this one time, but you take a just standard little koozie, and you'll cut it like a V, like right here. You'll just make a little V pattern in it, and you know how it is. They snag everything. I mean, they're great, but they'll snag everything. So what you do is where that V is, you'll just run your little head of your A-rig. If I get it right there, there's a head of the A-rig, but it keeps it kind of protected, and snags a whole lot less. So it's a low buck trick. I mean, there's some fancy ones out there, but this one does pretty good. So just run it in there. So some of the longer ones won't cover the hooks, but see. So actually I have it on a rod, and I'll just run my line around the guides. But it's kind of a low buck, kind of keep your A-rig from snagging every line and every pole you got. So it's pretty cool. But I really like Diamond. They got some quality components. It's moderately priced, but like I said, the three arms and the blades, I think that's a game changer. But like I said, not sponsored by them or anything, but pretty cool. Now, I know John's got one or two. That's kind of my low buck tricks.
All right, I'm going to talk about Linda Gessner.
Yep.
if I had met her probably 10 years ago and done this podcast, I'd have probably won or cashed a good check in the Toyota Series on Gunnersville.
Yep.
I was throwing a frog all day. I had plenty of bites. However, I did not get any of them into the boat. And, she talked about, she broke it down from rod, reel, line, hook set, what frogs to throw when, what frogs where, and all that. And one of the things that I noted, that I found out, that my hook set normally is straight up.
Yep.
Okay. She says when you set the hook with a frog, go across your body. Go across your body, not straight up. Just bring it across the body. And that works.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I started doing that with my anything on the bottom.
Yep.
Worms, jigs. Instead of going straight up, I'm going across the body. You get a more powerful hook set that way. So that's one of the tips that I learned. I learned that there are more people out there that like snickerdoodle cookies than I could imagine.
Yeah, every time somebody says snickerdoodle, I look at John. I can just see he's like, "What?" So, I tried one. They're not bad, but it's just not my thing. So
yeah, not mine either.
Each his
I
own.
want to give a shout out to Eddie Carper.
Yep.
He came over to 4th of July weekend and wanted to fish Cayuga Lake. So we went out there. I don't know. I think it was 3 hours, and we had 23 pounds in the boat or something like that. He was throwing a jig, and I switched over to a jig, and I had a Star Lures craw trailer on the back of it, and he had the same trailer, different color, and we were both getting them.
Oh yeah, and he's one of the nicest guys, and man, one of the smartest guys. He's really, really good.
Yes, and he broke down how he breaks down. He talked to us about how he breaks down a lake, so which is nice.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Trying to think of something that Jeremy May taught us. Jerkbait fishing.
Yeah, I got one right here that he turned me on to, and I've really, really liked this season. It's the Jackal Re-Range, and it's got a lot of side-to-side action. And it's got a weight transfer system. It's actually a magnet. And he was talking about when you throw it, it sounds like your line breaks because it pops, where that magnet will pop out and think you broke your line or rod or something. But that bait's got a lot of action. I can see it being really good in the summer and pre-spawn. But yeah, it's got a lot of action. It's all over the place. And I didn't never. I've heard of it and I never used it, but that got me turned on to it, and I have had some pretty good luck on it this year.
All right. So do you want to get into 2025?
Sure. 2025, I know they've had some rule changes in the BFLs, and now I was thinking about doing a bass opener too, and that's kind of off the table now. So I may do some. I haven't decided yet, but I don't know if I'm gonna do BFLs or not this year. It's still kind of in limbo, but I'm gonna do. I always do some local events, some charity events and whatnot, some team events, which is a lot of fun. So, but I'm gonna do some kayak events. I'm gonna do the one Bassmaster event on Del Hollow. So I'm really familiar with Del Hollow, so I'm at least gonna do that one. That's probably my biggest tournament I'll do this year, and then I'm gonna do some USA Bassin. They got a good schedule for Tennessee. I haven't seen the Kentucky schedule yet, but for all the co-anglers that was in the Bass Opens and you're kind of looking for something to do, man, get you a kayak. I got a kayak at a good price, and I had it since the summer, and I've really, really enjoyed it. It's kind of a game changer. And our boy Roy Widgeon, I remember I asked him about it. He says, "Yeah, it's like you're on a motorcycle, but you're on the water," and that is the most accurate description I've had. And I've done motorcycles quite a bit, so it does. You're out there and it's peaceful, and seems like it's made me a better angler, or I sneak up on the fish better. But I I got a little lake that usually has like 1 or 2 pounders, and I caught like a 4 out of it on a crankbait. It was pretty good. So, I like the kayak because it's a lot cheaper and easier, and you can outfit it like you want. You got the little rail blazers, the little tracks, and so I'm slowly building up, get little stuff here. And that's another thing, you can add just a little bit at a time. If you want to do a trolling motor later, and mine did come on a graph. It wasn't live scope, but just a little graph, and that helps water temperature and depth, kind of see where the cuts and stuff is. So it's been really good. I got it, real good deal on it, and I said I may upgrade to a pedal drive next year at some point, but I'm just gonna paddle around my little paddle. But it will give you a little bit of a workout, but it's a lot of fun. And like I told John, is like I'll leave and I'll come back with more lures because I find lures in the limbs where boats can get to or on the shore. So I've gotten a few lures, have more lures coming back than started, which never happens. So
That is true.
Yep.
Okay, so for the podcast aspect of Co-Angler's Corner, we're starting it out with Jeremy Mayhem May. He's going to talk about the differences between pro staff and sponsorship. They're not the same, people. Hate to break your heart. And Jeremy's going to do the same thing.
Yep. He's going to break it down.
Yes. We're going to be doing we're calling it Sponsorship Saturday.
Yep.
I want to say it's 6 or 8 Saturdays straight from this Saturday up until the middle of February. I think it's the second Saturday in February. We're having different people come on and talking about sponsorship. Some of them are sponsors, and some are the sponsees.
Yep.
And that way you can, the sponsor is going to talk about, people who would sponsor, what they need to do, what can they do to better themselves for a sponsorship. And
expectations what
yes.
They expect. So you get both the sponsored side and the sponsor. So you get a little bit of both. So I'm looking forward to that myself. And even as long as I've been into it, but that's going to be, I think that's going to be really informational. That's going to be real informative.
We have a couple of elite guys coming. We have Alex Weatherall coming right now. And Brian Carter with the Bass Cast. You guys might have heard of this guy, Cliff Pace. He's going to be coming on and talking about the differences between crankbaits, whether between plastic and balsa.
Yep.
He has his own line of baits called Black Label.
Black Label. Yep. And funny you say that because he has some molds from the old WE Chambers from Zoom. There's a little Rex square bill. That's one of my favorites. And man, he does a outstanding job on his paint and finishes, as you can see. But yeah, he watch him on his YouTube. He'll go through how to paint it, and he's got little machines. He's kind of custom made. But Cliff does a great job with Black Label. So yep. Definitely look forward to that.
We also got a guy, Mike Piklinski, friend of mine. I've known him ever since he was like 3 or 4 years old. He owns Carolina Fishing Tackle, I believe it's called. Oddly enough, it's in North Carolina. And they carry only Japanese-made baits.
Wow, that's a hot section right now. It has been for a while.
He's going to be coming on talking about the difference between Japanese baits and American-made baits. So that's it. I mean, we're keeping the same format with podcasts. Mondays are women's, Tuesdays are co-anglers, Wednesdays are whatever we want to do. And we're going to sprinkle some shows in from time to time. Different things like Cliff Pace is going to be on a Thursday.
Yep.
Hey, David, what's up? Where are you from, David?
Daniel,
I'm sorry. I got it on the small screen.
That's all right, man. I got you back, man. But hey, Daniel, thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate you.
We're going to be adding a newsletter this year too. So if you want to start, it's a free newsletter. It's probably 5 or 6 pages, so it's more of a newspaper than a newsletter. But if you're interested in getting it, there's our email address. Send over your contact information. Say, hey, I want to subscribe to the newsletter, and we'll get you on the email list for that. But some of the things it's going to have is, or if you want to sponsor the newsletter, more than welcome to do that. We're going to have Co-Angler Corner notes, which are notes from Robert and myself. We're going to have the LBA is going to have a little section there talking about them. Barb Elliott, New York State Conservation Director, and I think she was BASS Conservationist of the Year last year, or the year before. We're going to have tips for social media, co-anglers, techniques, and sponsorship. And we're going to have a spotlight section. Lady angler, a co-angler, a pro angler, and then a new product. So if that's pretty much it for the newsletter.
Oh, and a calendar of what shows coming up.
Yes.
So yep.
It's also going to have a calendar of events on it. So you'll with the links to the shows for the following month. So if I put one out February 1st, it'll be that month's shows. So yep. Daniel's in Texas going to OH Ivy Saturday.
Ooh, man. Atlanta Giants. I know some tackle shops around there. That's an awesome lake, man. I hope you whack them, man. That's awesome. That's on my list to go to. So man, tight lines you get out there. Yes. And we got one of our favorite guests / guest hosts chiming in.
Day trading with Nuke. Sorry, he was driving home. Well, that's no excuse. I know you got cell phone.
Hey, at least he's better. We're glad you're better, man. So you're driving home. That means you're better. There you go.
Daniel's been fishing Ivy since 13, before the bass boom.
Yeah. I heard your boy Milton talking about that. That was crazy. It was like during the ice and snow, and he caught that with 13 or something. It's crazy, man. That thing boomed quick.
Like I said a couple times already, if there's someone you want to see on our show, you can DM us. You can put it on our posts, on our feed, or you can send us an email. Or if you have our contact information, text it.
Yeah. Or for technique we haven't covered, you'd like to see, we'll try to get an expert, somebody who's really good at it, and have them on. So either way, just let us know.
If you want to use towing cable for your line, Barking Rugers will be one.
Hey, he just uses 50 pound braid on his crappie setup. I mean, each his own.
Yep. The further north he gets, the lighter line you have to use. I don't think he likes that.
Yeah, I think somebody in Kentucky kind of schooled him on that. I won't mention any names.
I won't either, because we're not those type of people.
We're killing it.
Hey, it's your time. Hey, you got me bad last night, so it's your time. Just because y'all don't use winch cable. No, I don't have to up here. I can catch 5 and 6 pounders on 6 pound test.
Yep.
I have complete comfortability with my technique and skill. How is that for a BS? Daniel says this show is great. It's underrated. Hey, I appreciate it, Daniel. Rob and I both appreciate it, and everyone else does too. Yep. Spread the word. Spread the word.
Yep. Hey, when you catch a 10 plus on Ivy, man, send us a picture, man. We'd love to see it. So
definitely.
Good luck and tight lines out there, man. I wish I was out there with you. That's a great lake.
That's something we can do too in the newsletter. Lunkers.
Yep. Uh-oh, here he goes.
Oh boy. Day Trading with Nuke says, I had a rod with 10-pound line on it when I launched with Rob. It didn't even get my baits in the water without breaking.
I don't want to tell him I've used 4-pound tests in a tournament before and had pretty good luck with it. Just saying.
Yeah.
That'd blow his mind. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I said sometimes I don't think it's the line they're looking at; it's the action. The lighter line, the better the action. So
All right, here's a question for all the smart people. Day trading with Nuke, because you are an intelligent man. If fluorocarbon can't be seen, why not use 20 pound all the time?
True. I use it on the Ned. I use it on Ned rig, and I almost catch a check with 4 pound test.
I use mine to catch gators.
Oh.
There's not that many in New York, so.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Hey, Daniel's like us. He only targets small bass. They're easier to catch.
I do that in tournaments. I can catch giants, like a Cherokee tournament canceled. I caught like a 4, biggest fish ever caught in Cherokee. Go to a tournament the following week or 2, nothing. Same bait, same locations. It happens.
Yep. I have a lake that by me that to win a tournament you could get 5 pounds for 7, or 5 fish for 7 pounds, and you could had a chance to win.
Oh yeah, that's how it is. Kentucky.
Well, everybody gets a limit. Everybody gets a limit.
Yep.
I call that the technique practice lake.
Yeah.
Because you will get bit.
Oh, I go Ohio River. Go down the Ohio River, you catch 8 or 10 inch bass all day, and it's like you figure at least get one. You know, it's 12, but it is tough. It is. That's the toughest place I've ever been.
Day trading with Nuke says, "You're right. Why not?"
Hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So.
Yeah. You're right, though. When we were up in Michigan, you could get away with light line. There's very little cover, but down here, it's like fishing with poche. It's like fishing with poche. You have to winch in and out.
Oh yeah, I've been there, man. I know what you're talking about. I know. I've been there.
Oh, I like fishing the brush and stuff like that, where you have to use 20 and 50 pound.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's actually some grassy lakes in Kentucky. One little lake in Kentucky here at the Army base I still got a pass for. I got my personal best on a frog, 812, and she didn't have a chance to pull because she had like 50 pounds of grass. I didn't realize how big she was, and got up to boat, and after I took all the grass, there was a mouth like that big. I'm like, holy cow.
All right. So I don't know what else to talk about for 2025.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of rule changes and stuff, and it seems like every 2 weeks to a month, something changes, some rules. I mean, it's been kind of crazy. I think we're going to see that some more.
Yeah. So I know you're not completely sold on. I've caught more. Daniel says I've caught more bass on Lake Ivy than Captain D and Long John Silver put together.
Oh man! Hey, at least you was catching them. You was getting bit.
Yeah.
So hey, that's a first step. Oh, there's a hint. There's a hint from the audience.
Day trading with Nukes. I talked to a guy about Lowrance. He's willing to come on and talk about Lowrance. Rhonda Pitts gave me another guy's name, and I sent a message to him to try to get him to talk, and he does on the water and instructional classes on Humminbird.
Yep, and like I said, there's I know boat dealers in Kentucky and Tennessee as well. They'll have one guy on staff, and all he does is electronics, set up, troubleshooting, and he'll actually somebody call in from the water, and he'll go through some settings and whatnot, what to try. So definitely.
Can you tell me how to punch that GPS coordinate in that you gave me yesterday?
Yeah. Or his unit's gotten damaged. He wants to pull the waypoints out. So I understand.
Yep. But no, I mean, we're off to a good start for next year. I say next year like it's a long ways away. Starts tomorrow. Daniel says Ivy is a great lake for kayaking in April.
I'll try that out, man. I love my kayaks. I've just had it since the summer, and dude, I've had a blast in it. It's
you could bring your kayak up to New York and fish St. Lawrence. You could start at one end and get to the other in about an hour and a half.
With me paddling, probably more like 3 or 4 hours.
No, it'll probably take you 3 hours with the current, just letting the current go.
Yeah, but I do love going down rivers and creeks. That's one thing. Get a couple, me and another friend, and we'll park his truck at the far end of the creek or river, and we'll float down, fish the little deep holes and pockets, lay down. That's been a blast. That's some fun times.
Nice.
Yep.
Day trading with Nuke says those things make a huge percentage of what most anglers spend on their boats, and some folks buy all new boats and electronics every year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's
Yes. You will not see me doing that.
no.
Um,
I may eventually get a small live scope set up, but right now I'm pretty happy with what I got, and but I'll eventually upgrade it. It won't be anytime soon, but I'm keeping an eye out.
I'm waiting for someone to donate a boat to me. Not a what are those ones with the tube?
Yeah.
Yeah, not those.
Not those, yeah. Or the float tubes. Yeah, the float tubes. Yeah,
I had one of those when I was younger, and it wasn't a very good one because crankbait stuck in it, and I ended up going swimming.
Oh no!
Yeah, it wasn't a very good one.
It must have been pretty thin.
Yeah. And my luck is I get out there so far and be too tired to kick my way back.
Yeah, that's why I've been kind of scared of my kayak, but I've been pretty good with it, and it hasn't been too bad. And it's funny, I got a decent seat, so it hadn't really hurt my back like I thought it was.
Okay.
But yeah, guys, I got lucky. There's a local lake that is Snow Wake, and they rent out kayaks. So before I bought mine, I was able to rent one for a couple hours or half a day. And I said, I'm gonna see if I can do this. And I paddled around, fished, caught some small fish, but I was like, you know what, this ain't too bad. And so I got a taste of it kind of before I bought mine, and it was used. So, but there is a lot of good deals, especially in the off season. If anybody is trying kayaks, I got a real good deal.
Yep. All right, so Rob, he's not sure what exactly he's fishing next year.
Yeah, kind of, sort of, but I'm still kind of. And I got to work. I go out of town a lot, sometimes on my job, so I'm kind of waiting on that to kind of get a clue where I'm at. I've got a couple events. I know it's going to be certain days, but so it just depends how my work schedule, travel schedule goes. So, but I'll be out there some way or another. I do all kayaks, or I may still slip a BFL in there, but yeah, I'll probably not fish as much as I had the last couple of years. So, but I'll still be around.
Well, instead of doing a couple of BFLs, y'all just come up with Robert Gibson and Rock and fish the Toyota series on St. Lawrence.
But that's on the radar. I do like Toyotas.
Yeah, Toyotas.
Yep, because being a co-owner of Toyota, I mean, one advantage, guys, you get to fish 2 days. No matter if you zero both days, you at least get 2 days. And if you're top 12, 15,
I think it's
you get
25.
Oh, is it? Okay. Then you get to fish day 3. And it pays out if you got a full field of 200 plus, it pays like 60 spots, I think, 50, 60 spots. So that's pretty good. And they have a championship, which is pretty dang cool.
Yes. All right. Day trading says kayaking exploded in the last couple of years. It's amazing how many tournaments they have, let alone people doing it for fun.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of, and it's just a different vibe. I can't explain it, but it's just a different vibe. Or like you'll have a tournament and there'll be guys pull up beside each other, talk, hey, I did this, that, and the other. And it's a different feel or different vibe, I guess you'd say. But it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, it's funny because in the beginning of the year, I was looking at them, and then you got one. I didn't.
Yep.
But
it's the best thing I've bought in a long, long time. I'll just put it that way.
So, I don't have anything else.
No, I see. I think I got maybe a couple of things. I know we have a lot of guys. Us being a co-angler show. Here's that. Let's see what our boy has to say.
We're starting to have them down here as well. Little dangerous, but still they're doing it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's but yeah, there's a couple of things. There's a couple of newer lures like that re-range, that Jackal re-range jerkbait that Jeremy recommended to us on the show was really, really good. But a couple things I want to go. I know we have a lot of questions for co-anglers that's on the back of a boat and they got a guy scoping. I'll share a couple lures. I've actually caught them behind scopers. And most time your boaters will tell you, hey, I'm catching them from 5 to 8 foot or 6 to 10. So usually they'll kind of clue you in. So that kind of gives you a range. But now I'm actually sponsored by this company, but I believed in them and used them before I got sponsored by them. That'd be Pulse Fish Lures, little Pulse heads. It's a scrounger head, basically.
Yep.
I really like the design. Really got a good hook in it. That's like the natural or lead color. Now for smallmouth guys, like up where John lives, the little chartreuse head. I don't know if it's going to show as good in the light, but it's a chartreuse yellow head. That's pretty good. And I've had a big fish come up from way deep, come straight up, and eat one of those. And a lot of different swim baits. They got their own swim baits here. This is a smoky trailer, but they got good little split tail minnow.
Yep.
That's what I used on mine. So that's one thing, to get get bit if you're cold behind a scoper. And then one other thing is, of course, what I showed earlier, the old A-rig. So just downsize your weights maybe to 8 unless they're really deep. But I like using the 8-ounce heads on these. And Kitech, like the Easy Shiners, like a 3-inch. So that's pretty good. So that's kind of give you maybe a couple lures if you're behind the scoper. And most time they're moving pretty fast. So that's kind of a couple lures you can kind of move pretty quick. Because first couple times I was with one, I had no clue. So I've had pretty good luck on those. Another thing I'm going to try, I hadn't had a chance to try yet, is the core lures. I know the light's kind of bright. The hover rig, little hover rig with like any kind of mini you like. I've done pretty good on the Max Scent, the little flat worms, like the 4-inch, 4.5 or 4.25. I think I'm going to use those. And chatterbait, one last thing. This being in a kayak, you don't have as much power on your hook sets. This is the Project Z. Head's a little different. What I like about it is, I don't know if I can make it show up as well, but you'll see as soon as I get my.
You're right. You're good.
Yep. See, I got that line tied. I don't have to clip. It has like a better way to tie. I'll actually run that on 30, 40-pound braid. And trailer, one of my favorite trailers now, this is non-sponsored, is the Zoom Shimmer Shad. They got the green pumpkin pearl for your green pumpkins. They got a black. And another one's called Toxic, like for your, I know this light's kind of strong. They call it Toxic. It's like a yellow, white. So if you got a white or even a chartreuse and white, that's awesome trailer. That's been one of my favorite trailers of late. It's a couple hints. And then, like I said, here, I like being a kayak. I know a lot of guys like, doing the wacky worms. Actually, Hayabusa, they got a 2-aught. It's called a wacky Fluorogard. Little hook, it's got like a little heavier Fluorogard line in front of it. Works really well. So if you're in around the grass or it's cover. But just a couple things off the top of my head you guys might want to check out. And I said I've had success on a couple lures on the scoper, so maybe I'll help you out. I hope it gets you an extra bite or fish and get you a checker on the weighing stage. Some days it's 2 or 3 o'clock, you ain't got a fish. You're like, man, I just need one to get on the weighing stage, get the point. So hope I helped you out.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for making our first year. I consider a success. We made it.
Yep.
Thank all you guys out there. Thanks LBAA and everyone else who helped get this stuff together. Daniel, thank you very much. He's saying great for those of you who can't see the podcast and just listening to it. Daniel says, great show, guys. He's looking forward to 2025.
Absolutely, Brad.
Right. Same setup as last year, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central.
Yep. And we do have our, if you missed it, or like I said, we understand if you're late for work. We do have it on our YouTube channel. So please like, subscribe. And if you're interested in something, previous show, or even tonight's show, and you want to say, what was that lure or what was that? And then you can go back. So definitely do that. The previous shows, there's a bunch of good ones out there for sure from soon to be last year.
Yes. All right, folks. Thank you very much for supporting us. and looking forward to doing more shows in 25.
Absolutely. And said like, subscribe, and got a guest you'd like or technique, just let us know. And Todd checking in real quick here on the way out.
Yep. Todd, thank you for joining us. Happy New Year to everybody out there.
Yep. Everybody have a blessed new year, and even more blessed 2025, and we'll be seeing you.
All right. What's Ozzy say?
We love you all.